recording this and we'll get started. So thank you for coming. Today's free webinar, I kind of wanted to hop in and with everything that's going on is help educate people about when on their website on how to get their e-commerce website going. So this webinar is going to be geared heavily towards people who are signed up with Balloon Suite, but I shared it with everybody. So if you're not a Balloon Suite customer, you can also see the capabilities that it has and how it could help you in your business. And seeing that live webinar, that live preview might be something that's definitely good for you. So if you have any questions, hop on over to Zoom, shoot a question. I'll answer all the questions at the end here. But basically what I want to do is I want to go through and basically set up the e-commerce portion of the website from scratch for our example website. So you can kind of see the different options, payments, settings, shipping, so you can make sure you understand every part of the e-commerce. Because with the world today shutting down, I have quite a few people who are dependent on their website for getting orders and are being very successful and lucky that they're able to take online orders with their Balloon Suite website. So we'll go ahead and do that. As always, if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, shoot an email to support@balloonsuite.com. So the website we're going to be working on today is the demo website. So when you go here, there's a couple different options. And we'll go ahead and turn all these on here. All right. Let's turn that on. And then we'll turn on, let us create it for you. Okay. So as you're going through to order balloons on a website, there are three main options for people to check out. And how you present these options depends on your business. So there's this landing page that was created for the business my balloon business, but we can also create product specific pages, and I'll go into details, but basically there's a couple different ways to present your products. But first I want to make sure everybody understands the different types of products that are available within your Balloon Suite website. So the first option is, here it says pick a balloon bouquet, but this is just your standard e-commerce product. Here it's kind of like just a regular e-commerce. You can have a product, a price, an image, and then that will allow them to order it. They see what it looks like, they check out and everything. The second option is, these are balloon bouquet specifics. So the create your own balloon bouquet option here, where people are allowed to come in here and based upon the inventory that you put in here, they can go in here and they can create a bouquet. Now it doesn't show a live preview, just shows what's inside the balloon bouquet. But they can come in here, choose their foil, their latex balloons, and they create this balloon bouquet that they can then add to the cart to check out. So a lot of people really like that option. In our business, we would have people come in here all the time and order just tons of latex balloons for mass delivery. So it's not just balloon bouquets. People come in here to order exactly what they're looking for. And it is very successful at getting the customers to be able to pick and choose kind of what they want. The inspiration for this was when I was growing up, my parents owned a balloon shop. When you walked into a shop, you pick your balloon bouquet size, and then you can go and you can search the walls for all the balloon bouquets, and they have the numbers, and you say, I want number 3 and number 7 in that bouquet. So it's kind of the same feature that they had growing up, where you can add those, see the foils in there and kind of pick them off the wall to create your own custom balloon bouquet. The other option is the let us create it for you bouquet. And you can name these whatever you would like. But the thought process behind this when I created it for my business was back when I would buy flowers for Valentine's Day, birthdays for my wife or my mom or whoever it was for, as a guy, I just wanted to order flowers. I didn't know the difference between a daisy. I mean, I know difference between a daisy and a rose, but I didn't know which flowers look best, which colors look good together. And I didn't want to spin that out. I felt like the florists did that all day, and I wanted them to pick out something that would look nice. So for me, when I order online, I like to be able to just say, I want this bouquet size. Go ahead and make me something that looks good. And that's kind of the intent of this section here, is they can come in here and say, create a bouquet, and they just choose the gender and the occasion, and that's it. They can add some add-ons if they want, but basically they just tell you the balloon bouquet size, gender, occasion, and you can create it for whatever balloon, using whatever balloons you would like. The great side benefit that I got from this that I wasn't expecting was, I'd say close to 50% of people chose this option. And what it did is it allowed me to use my odd inventory. So if I had an event where I ordered, someone wanted a custom Mickey Mouse birthday topper. Maybe not Mickey Mouse, because that's very specific, but they wanted a very specific topper for maybe it's a foil for an arch, or they wanted a custom balloon, and we ordered some custom foils. We always order 2 or 3 extra in case one pops, to be safe, and we always had extra. And we had this box piling up of odd balloons that we never wanted to actually sell on our website, but we had to order extra. And that's when I would always use those balloons. They were still great balloons. Don't get me wrong, they weren't budget or cheap ones, but they were just ones that we didn't want to stock. We didn't want to keep thousands of balloons in inventory. So this section allowed us to, when someone would order here, they'd choose happy birthday, we'd go to our odd happy birthday box, and we'd pick out some balloons that looked good together and create a beautiful balloon bouquet based upon the occasion. And they didn't know that these were odd, and it didn't matter because they were good quality balloons still. So, so that's the last option. So making sure before we go into this, I want you to see the 3 different bouquet options: the full product, like an actual e-commerce shopping, the create your own balloon bouquet, where they can go in and they can create their own. And then basically they just say, I want this bouquet size, please create it for me. So the first thing we're going to focus on is creating this section here, because this seems to be the part that, this and the create your own seem to be the part that most people have questions about. So as you can see here, there's nothing in here. It's a blank slate. I deleted everything earlier today. So we're going to start setting this category and this page up from scratch. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out exactly how you want to lay out and organize your products. Every business I've found out is a little bit different. They offer different services, they prefer different preferences of what they like to sell versus other. Some people like to do a lot of organic. Some people like to do a lot of classic. So it really depends on your business and what you want to outline and focus on within your business. So when I had balloon bouquets, we just did general balloon bouquets, and we allowed them to order balloon bouquets on their website. For decor items, they had to call in. But I have plenty of people who are putting some decor items that people can purchase online, especially some like organic garlands and things like that. They can go in and they can order these things. And then you kind of want to pick how you want to organize this out. And I say that because the first thing you want to do is pick your categories. The categories are going to be crucial to making sure it's well organized. So when you log into your Balloon Suite portal, under your product section, we'll have categories. And for simplicity, this is going to be only for balloon bouquets, just because I have products, images that look good that I can put in there. But if you wanted to organize them to be differently, you could definitely do these. So option 1 is to have categories like birthday. And then you can choose a birthday image. So we're gonna use the same image for all these to make sure they all match, realizing that when you create yours, you probably will have images specifically for each one of these. Let's see, there we go, balloon pictures, there we go. So we're gonna do this image, and we're gonna make sure this image is the same for every single one. So obviously when you do yours, you wanna make sure that the image matches the category. So if it's birthday, make sure it says birthday or has a birthday balloon in it. One trick that I do recommend is making sure all of these these images are the same size, and I'll show you why. So we have birthday, add that category. And this is a very large image, so it's kind of resizing it, so it takes a few seconds. And then we're going to do love, it could be Valentine's Day, whatever you want to call it. And we'll put that same image in there, just make sure it matches. Oops, that's not the right image. that same image in there. So now we've added these two categories. When you go over to your website, however, you're gonna notice there's still nothing there. That's because none of these categories have products in there. So now that we have our categories, the second thing we want to do is choose our add-ons. So when someone is checking out, you can have some specific add-ons that they can add to the bouquet. So it can be a teddy bear, box of chocolates, balloon weight. We had balloon weights part of our required for every balloon bouquet, just to make it easier for delivery. We put it into the cost of the bouquet. But we would have a couple different things like a candy sack or different options that they can do to upgrade to make more money. So the first thing you want to do is choose which your add-ons you want. And adding on add-ons, I didn't delete those because it's very similar. Just type in the name, the image, and then you can add the different prices. So this is the option 1, option 2, and then the price for that size. So once you have your add-ons, then you'll want to go into your category, into your product, and set up a product. So we have your product here. And we're going to go Mickey Mouse birthday. And I'm just going to put some filler text in here to make it simpler. Obviously, you're going to put some text in there that makes sense and describe what that is. And here's where you can choose your add-ons. So I'm going to choose all 3 of these. If you have a lot of add-ons and only want to offer certain ones for each product, you can do that. And here it's a birthday, so I'm going to add it to the birthday category. So you click Add Category, hover over Birthday, click Add, and close it. And then you're going to add, then you go down to Prices. So there's a couple different options when it comes to prices. There's your base price where you can say this balloon bouquet is $20 and it has a flat price. There's no options. There's no price differences. And if you want to do that, you just put $20. You don't scroll down. So $20. And I'm going to choose the images here. So we have all of our Mickey birthday images. Upload all of them there. Probably should have just done 3 or 4 of them for simplicity. But once all these images are done uploading, they're assigning that image to that bouquet or that product if it's not a bouquet. All right. And once all those are in there, then you can go in here and you can add the balloon bouquet and then create it. So now when we go back, we're going to notice there's a birthday category, and then there's one product in that section. So if we go into the category, birthday, it'll show all the products that are in that category. Obviously, we just have the one. If we go into the product, it shows the product, a short description, which makes a big difference, the add-ons that they can choose. So your customer's coming in here, they're seeing the balloon bouquet, they can choose a teddy bear they want to add to it. And you notice it added a $10 balloon bouquet to a $20 price. This product's going to be $30 for them. And then they can add it to the cart and check out, and we'll go over that in a second. So that is your basically products that have a flat rate. But you're probably saying to yourself, Brandon, what if I have different bouquet sizes? So option B, when you're setting these up, is to have variable pricing. And that means that the prices change. So what you're going to do is you'll set the base price to 0. And then you can come in here to your options. And you can, pick a size. And you can create different sizes. Add a couple options. Small, medium, large. I'll make sure these ones are more expensive. because I know everybody's probably saying to themselves, a $20 balloon bouquet, there's no way I would do that. So we're going to do 80, 100, and 150. So now we have different pricing options. So what this will do is it'll take the base price and then it'll add whatever they choose here from the dropdown. So we update the product updated. We go back to here and we'll notice it's a little bit different. Now when they come in here, there's no base price, but then they have to pick a size. So they come down here and they choose the medium bouquet, and now it's $100. And a medium bear. So now this bouquet is $110 that they're going to order and check out. You can also, with these options, you can also go in here and do things like pick a color. Red, yellow, blue. Now, for me, no matter what color they choose, it's not going to change the price. So I'm going to go ahead and just put $0. It's not going to change the price at all. So what this will do is this will go ahead and add the, this will add the, this will add the color to the drop down, and then it'll refresh here. And then there won't be any price to that. So let's try that again. Pick a color. Oops. All right, product updated. Then we come back to the product. Notice there are now two options. Pick a size and pick a color. So I come in here, choose the medium, pick the red, and obviously this one's not going to change the price at all. They're just choosing the option. So currently, as of right this second, if you put an option in there and you try to add it to the cart, it's going to make you choose one of those. And as of the second, the drop down is the only option for attributes. That being said, it is developed and going to be released either this or next week. An option for these to be optional. So you can, on the back end here, you can, right here, you can check them to be optional. And there also is a text box area where people can free type in messages. So you can say, put notes or write a card or whatever you want. If you want someone to type in something or tell you something, you can put a text box area in there and tell them what to tell you. And they can type it in there and you can make it required or not required. I do commit to that because it is tested. It passed all the tests, developed everything, just the time to deploy it. So either this week or next week, we should have that out for you to be able to have optional items as well as text box areas. So that being said, the person comes in here, they choose medium, they choose yellow. We're gonna add a bag of candy this time, and then they can go ahead and add it to the cart. You'll notice it's been adding all the different things we've been adding into the cart. We'll go ahead and remove a couple of those to make it look a little bit nicer. So, okay. And that's kind of how you would set up this section. We'll go in and do one more to make sure it's working. To make it look a little nicer. So we're gonna add another product. And this one's going to be, okay, let's do the images first because I can't remember what the character was. I think it was Toy Story, but I double check here. Nope, good thing I checked because it was a love one. So while those are up, while those images are uploading, we'll just say pink, heart, love. Add a little bit of categories in there. We'll choose just these two because the bag of candy isn't too romantic. adding a category. This time it's love. Price. For simplicity and quickness, we'll just do $50. Obviously, we can make it variable. So we added that bouquet to that category. Let's go ahead and add one more too. So you can see what multiple products look like together. So for this bouquet, we'll do, just making these up on the spot, definitely not the best names. And then we'll just do a bag of candy because it's a kid's bouquet. Take the rose out or the teddy bear out. Category, love, $95. Obviously, you can do the pricing however best fits you. So now we have 3 balloon bouquets, 2 different categories. So now when someone comes to your website, they come in here to order, they're going to see the categories, and then they're going to see the balloon bouquets. So if they go into the love, now you have 2 balloon bouquets that people can choose from. And then it looks very similar to before. So it's going to organize these. So before I mentioned making sure that your images were all the same size, the reason I say that is because on these pages, it makes a huge difference to the quality of your website when your images are all uniform. So you can notice these sizes are a little bit different. If this is my website, I would make sure these images all match the same size to make sure all these images were exactly the same dimensions, and it looks a lot better and a lot more uniform. I will real quick show you how to do that. That's not necessarily the purpose of this webinar, but it does make your website better. So I want to do a quick run through on how a quick, easy way I found to make sure all these images are the same size. So hypothetically, if you have 2 random images and they're different sizes, I like to use the tool called Canva. It's a free tool, but basically what I'll do is I'll create a custom dimension, make it 500 pixels wide, and we want these to be a little bit taller, so I'm going to make it up and do 850. And you can play with the sizes, see what best fits you. So probably a little bit tall, but it's fine. So what I will do is I will come in here and I will pick these 2 bouquets, these 2 images, which are completely different shapes. Drag them in here. Uploads the images. And then you can go ahead and bring these over here. So that snaps it to the size. If you double click it, you can see the image is actually bigger than the dimension that I set, but it makes it the same size. So I go in there, name it Mickey Mouse 1, and then you can click here and it'll download this image right here at that exact same size in that dimension. So then I'll grab this bouquet balloon and I'll throw it in there too. This one's a little cropped, but for this purpose, that's fine. So now we have Mickey Mouse 2. So now what I've done essentially is I've taken these images and I've made them fit to be exactly the same size. So when I upload them, they're going to be uniform. And you can also play with it. You don't have to snap it to a full width like that. You can come in here and you can make it like this. So you fill it into there. There's a white on the bottom and top. But when you go to your website and you go in here, you probably would have the image up at the top like this. So you can play with it and kind of see, and then it would put some white at the bottom, but at least everything would be lined up. So you can play with it how you like. For me, I would zoom in and make it fill the whole space. And I'd probably make these a little wider so they fit together. So that's a quick and easy way for you to make sure that you have images that are uniform, because that makes a huge difference in the quality of how your customers perceive the quality of your website. And it's really doesn't change much. But yes, the other thing is having good quality images. You can see these images. I paid a photographer. It wasn't a professional photographer. It was someone who just finished school, and it was someone that we knew, and I paid them a couple $100, and they came and took a bunch of pictures, and then they went and edited them to the best of their ability. So probably could have paid a professional photographer, but I was starting off, and it's a lot better than I could do. So I would also recommend investing in good quality images, because that'll also make a pretty big difference in the quality of your website. So the great thing about this is people can come in here, they can see exactly what this bouquet looks like. They can come in here for the events if you have it well laid out, some quick upgrades, and you can kind of maximize your orders here. So a lot of people really like this option so they can see exactly what the balloon bouquet is going to look like. Some people also do, like I said, garlands, organic garlands and stuff like that, or basic decor stuff. So, perfect. So if you have any questions on the standard products, I see a couple have gone in there, hop on over to the Zoom link and throw your question in there, and then I'll circle back around to those questions at the end and make sure I answer all those questions at the end. So the second, before I go, there are two different things. There's categories and there's occasions. So when you're organizing it, a product can be in two different things. It could be in a category and it can be in an occasion. So how I would do this is the product being like balloon bouquets or stuff like that. And then the occasion could be birthday, get well. So you can have a category. So if you have multiple categories, like if you do decor, organics, stuff like that, a lot of different types of categories. You can also do occasions. So you can have a birthday arch and a birthday bouquet in the same category or same section. So people come in here, they can choose birthday occasion, and it's the same thing. Obviously, this isn't birthday, but you add it the same way. And then this way, you can add products from different categories into a similar occasion. So occasion being like the event, birthday, get well, anniversary, Christmas, whatever the event occasion is that's coming up. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of what that is as well. So the second part we're going to go over is the Let Us Create It For You section, which was probably the most popular section that I had that people chose by a little bit, but not too much. So for here, basically all we're doing is we're going to set up different bouquet sizes and what's included in those bouquets. We're going to set up the occasion they're going to check. Obviously, these are bad occasions. And then we're going to set up what gender is it. Obviously, we don't want to deliver pink balloons to a male unless that's what they prefer, and they can choose female colors. So they can, you can basically choose kind of the gender of the bouquet. They can type in notes, and then they can choose those same add-ons and add it to the cart. So for setting this up, let's go back here. You're going to go under the balloon bouquet section, and this is the Let Us Create It For You. So we have the Let Us Create It For You sizes, and here you have all these different sizes that I've pre-set up. But we'll go ahead and delete a couple of these, and we'll set them up from scratch here, make them look good. Like I said, while I'm setting this up, for those of you that weren't here in the beginning, the Let Us Create It For You worked very well for me to get rid of the odd inventory balloons and not get too big of a stockpile of foils that I wasn't using. So that was a great benefit of having that. So we're gonna do small. This bouquet is gonna be $50. We're gonna add, you can add as many features as you'd like, but 5 foils, 1 mega foil, and 12 latex. Obviously the price and the numbers probably won't match up, but we're just throwing something there for simplicity. Medium, IUM, right? Yep. And this one's going to be 99. And then this is going to be 10 foils, 2 mega foils and 20 latex. And you just fill that out with all the bouquets. Obviously, you can customize it to your pricing. I found that 3 to 4 sizes, it performs best, giving them a few options, but not too many. And then I also, in my business, I also steered towards the big ones. So I had 4 options, the smallest one, and then 3 bigger ones. So I gave them one small one, and then the other 3 were all pretty big. I tried to keep away from that middle area. I wanted either, in my opinion, I wanted to either catch the small people and then force the people that wanted to pay towards the bigger stuff. So, yeah, so we're just gonna put some filler text in here real quick. Doesn't really matter what we put in here. This one's gonna be a $199 bouquet. So now we've added all these bouquets. You'll see here, when we go back to let us create it for you, these are the sizes they can choose from now. All right. So you just want to make sure you organize it and then let them know exactly what they're getting. The second thing is the occasions. This is very self-explanatory. Type the occasion, save it, puts it in there. And then, oops, I gotta refresh the page. When they go over here, they'll have birthday as the occasion. Gender is preset, and that's all you gotta do. That sets up that. People can come here, they can choose the bouquet, and they can add it to the cart. Perfect. And then probably our favorite feature that people like that really makes us stand out is this create your own balloon bouquet. The ability for people to come in here and create their own balloon bouquet based upon the inventory. Like I said before, it doesn't show it all done up, but it does give them an inventory of what is going to be included in the bouquet. So you can see here, on this, you can set a minimum bouquet size. The last thing I wanted them to do was order a $2 balloon bouquet. So I put a minimum order. You can set that to whatever you would like, that price. Or if you don't care, if you have a pickup and you just want people to pick up $2 orders, you can have no minimum. So to set these up, there's 3 different tabs you can notice. There's the foil, the latex, and then your add-ons. Your add-ons, we already went over how to add those. Those get thrown in there. And then you have your foil and your latex. You'll notice in each section, there are filters or categories for each one that they can use to filter them out. So if it's a birthday balloon they want, they can just show only the birthday bouquets. Latex balloons, however you want to organize these to be whatever you would like. So I want to make sure when I'm going through, you know what each of these sections are that we're filling out. So down here, the first thing you want to do is the balloon categories. So you'll notice I have them already set up here. These are the latex ones, and these are the foil ones. So let's say I wanted to add Mother's Day foil balloons. Add Mother's Day foil balloons. We got Mother's Day. And then when we go into the foil section, save this image, they all match. The sizes. So I'm just saving this image and reusing it. Use that image, even though it says Mother's Day. So I put the foil name that I want to call it. This SKU is basically just a number that you can use to organize your website and know what bouquet they ordered. So for us, we used the order from our distributor. Some people have numbers on their wall, whatever number or whatever you want to choose, so you know an easy way to categorize what balloon that is. And then if they add it, how much money is that going to cost? So this is going to be a $2.50 foil. It's going to be a Mother's Day. So I've essentially added this foil to the Mother's Day section. Mother's Day balloon. So now when I come in here, you're going to see there's a Mother's Day foil. And when I bring it down, $2.50. When I add it, I can add that in there. So you want to go in there, you want to set up your categories for each one of the foils and the latex. And this can take some time. You need to download the images and you need to upload one at a time. It's not hard, but it does take time. And the easiest thing I found is downloading these images from the distributor, because most of these images were all the same size. They were small enough where I didn't have to do resizing. So I just downloaded, kind of like you saw there, and then just chose it. And it just takes some time. So put them in there, put the balloons in there, and then they will start showing in here. So your customers can come in here, they can come in here and they create their own balloon bouquet. So now that we have them ordering, they're picking out their balloon bouquet, we've set all that up. The other part is checking out. When someone checks out, how are we going to make sure they pick a day and we know exactly when to deliver it or have them pick up? So basically, how it's set up is when they're checking out, they can choose up if they want pickup or delivery, and you can offer one and or the other. Right now it's set up for both. The date they want it and the time that they want it. So for instance, if they want to pick it up on the 13th and between 12 and 5. So when I get this order, I'm going to say this is a pickup order on this day, and they're going to pick it up between 12 and 5. If they deliver it, it'll be a delivery between 12 and 5. And no, here's the delivery address. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set these 3 sections up. First thing is, do you offer pickup or delivery? So for a lot of these, you're going to be in your settings section. So under settings and shop, we're going to go set up these sections. So here you can see this is the minimum order for the create your own balloon bouquet. Here is where you want to offer deliveries and or pickups. So if I didn't have a storefront, for instance, we were more of a warehouse and we were not there all the time. So I only offered deliveries. So turn off pickups. And then when you go back here, there's not an option for them to choose a pickup. Or vice versa. If you don't want to do deliveries, you only want customers to come into your store and pick it up. You can turn one or the other off. Probably should have one of them on because they need one or the other. The second section is the dates. So you want to choose kind of the dates that they can choose. So when you're on the delivery dates, you can set days of the week. So you can see here I have Sunday and Monday off. So they'll never be able to choose a Sunday or Monday, no matter how far they go. Sunday and Monday will always be blocked off. If I work on Mondays but not Sundays, I can turn Mondays on, update it, and then when they're checking out, they can choose Mondays. So that's a good way of basically saying we're not open on these days of the week. The second is your hours. So they're going to choose their hours. So you can say basically between 7 and 8 p.m. And then you can choose your blocks. So right now it's set to 5-hour blocks. So you can see 7 to 12, 12 to 5, and then it just finishes off the last 2 hours. But I can change that too. If you wanted 1-hour blocks, it'd be 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. So it'd be 1-hour blocks, 2-hour blocks, 3-hour blocks. So if you're worried about getting too many balloon bouquets in a certain amount of time, let's say you don't want to overstress yourself, you can set 2 to 3-hour blocks. And if you get 10 deliveries, you should be able to handle 10 deliveries in 3 hours or get help to do that. You've given yourself enough time to be flexible in that area. If you want to be really flexible, you want the 5-hour time blocks to make sure you're not too stressed out if you're expecting a lot of orders. It also helps when you get a lot of orders that you can organize your route to be the most efficient, so you're not going back and forth when they're choosing the longer time blocks you have. So that's up to you, however you want to do your business. But this would be the delivery and or pickup time slots. The second section is delivery days out. So for instance, if you choose a 0 there, and you come back here, they can choose tomorrow. But if I come in here and I put a 1, then the first thing they'll be able to choose is the 7th. So you can basically say how many days out do they have to order. So right now, because it's after 7 o'clock, they can't order, they have to do at least 24 hours out, so they can't order until the 7th. That allows you to make sure that you don't have any last second orders that you're not able to fulfill. So if you're worried about getting same day orders, it's easy to block off up to 7 days off they have to order in advance. And then the next thing is if they're doing delivery, they put in the recipient information. You'll notice here, we don't deliver to this zip code. Now it's a $12 delivery fee for this zip code, which isn't a real zip code. But the next thing you want to set up is your delivery fees. So how delivery fees work is it's based upon zip codes. So you have delivery areas. You can do area 1. So you can do zip code. Oops, yeah, it doesn't really matter. So you can put as many you like in here. It will not let you add them into multiple, but you can add as many of here as you'd like. You can have a flat rate. So let's say everybody that puts the zip code in has a $20 delivery fee. Or you can say variable rate based upon how much they spend. So if they spend $50 to $100 or $0 to $100, delivery fee is going to be $20 to this area. But if they spend $101, $300, or you can leave it blank if it's empty, then we'll do a $10 delivery fee, give them a little bit of a discount and incentivize them to increase it. So now we have a variable rate delivery fee there. So you can see variable, view your rates, $20 to $10. And then here is the flat rate, the $12 one. So you just want to even out, figure out what zip codes you deliver to, and you can come in here, you can add them one at a time, and then you can add multiple zip codes to one area. So I clumped all mine together into $20, $30, all the way up to $70 delivery fees. So I had 5 different categories, I believe it was. So, and each one of those could have had up to 20 to 30 different zip codes. So however you want to organize that, getting those delivery fees in there allows you to make sure that you're getting paid for the delivery based upon the distance. And then for me, I had these zones that I would deliver to, but they were going to be a very hefty delivery fee. $150 was the minimum delivery fee to there because it was an hour and a half away. So a few people would pay it. So I gave them the option on the website. Most people would say that's crazy. And I would say that makes sense because we live so far away. So I don't blame you. I hope you find somebody closer that can do it. But a few people couldn't find somebody and it was worth them. So I gave them the option. I've made a very astronomical delivery fee to make it worth my time to hire somebody to go out there. And once in a great while, someone would pay it. So don't be too afraid to expand your distance and put a hefty delivery fee, because once in a while it does happen that people do pay it. So once they have that, choose the date, the time, then they can go to here. And when you're checking out, it does calculate tax, and we'll spend a second going through your tax. I'm not going to put too much time into this because I found out every single person's tax area is different. It's complex, and how you do it's going to be different than how I do it. So if you're going through here and you can't figure something out, set up a phone call with us, give me a call. We'll find a way to make sure it works. But I want to make sure when you're setting up, you know what each of these sections are so you can, and how it works so you can set it up and you're not confused. So basically each tax rate, you can have multiple tax rates. But for the most part, the customer will only apply one of these. So anything that is left empty will not affect if they qualify for it. So for here, they're in the country US, state Utah, zip code 84651, city Payson. So when they're checking out here and putting in their billing address, they have to be in the US, have to be in the state Utah, they have to have the zip code 84651, and then they also have to have the city of Payson. So they would have to type Payson in right there. And that just gives you the flexibility if you have multiple zip codes per city, to have different prices per zip code or vice versa. But for instance, for me, these were the same. So I left city blank to remove the user error if they misspelled Payson. So I just did 84651 is the postal code, and then the tax rate. The tax rate is zero base, so 0.0675 is 6.75%. And then there's a priority. So it's possible that this one is for all of Utah, obviously. So anybody that's in any state or any section of Utah will qualify for this tax, but anybody in Payson will also qualify for this tax, which is in Utah. So they actually qualify for 2 taxes. You can set a priority, so one has a higher priority over the other, and it'll take whichever one is a priority. And this is basically, some people have in their states have it set up where this is the case, whichever one certain ones have higher priorities. But there's also some people who have a state tax, but then they also have a county or a city tax. So we have what are called compound taxes. And basically, if it's a compound tax, basically what that means is it will add it regardless. If they qualify for it, it'll add it. So if I put it in Payson, I will qualify for this one because I'm Utah, but I will also qualify for this one because it's a compound tax rate. So this will be my one tax rate, and then any compound tax rates on top of that will be added to this. So this would be closer to a 10% tax rate because it's going to add these two together. And you can do as many as you'd like. For instance, if you have a county tax, one of the options is to the county. So if I had a county tax, obviously it's difficult and hard to know exactly which zip codes are in the county. Sometimes zip codes can go from county to county. So if I do country United States, state, Utah, and then I'm going to make it a compound tax rate. So because the priority doesn't matter. And I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to leave that blank because it doesn't matter what they put in there. And then you can also choose to apply to shipping. So if you have to charge sales tax on your delivery fee, that's what that would be, whether you do or not. And then I add the new county tax, Utah County. So what this will do is obviously they're not putting a county in here. So this takes this address they put in here, it goes to Google, it sends it to Google, and Google will return a lot of information about this address. One of those is the county. And Google is very forgiving. If this is a bad address, as long as the zip code and city and state are close, it's very good at knowing what they're trying to do, and it gets it very accurate. It doesn't have to be exact. It does kind of get convoluted if for instance, if the address doesn't exist and the zip code is in multiple counties, you could get different wrong results. But Google's very good. So we will put this in there. It'll give us that county, and we will compare it, what Google tells us, to what you typed in. If they match, then they will qualify for that Utah county. And I say that because Google always returns county at the end of it in the US. Outside of US, I'm not sure. Currently, we don't have everybody using Balloon Suites in the US. But Google always puts county at the end. So if I was to just type Utah, because that's the county, it would not qualify because that is actually different than Utah County. So you just want to go to Google and make sure that your county name matches what Google has. And you can do county taxes, making it compound. So basically, if I was in Payson, which is in Utah County, it's also in the state of Utah, and it would qualify for all 3 of these tax rates because these 2 are compound and this one's not. Now, if I was to add a second one here, and say, make it all of Utah, and then we're going to do 84651, but this zip code spans multiple cities. Oops. I did exactly what I told you not to do. So we're not going to make this a compound, and we're going to do priority 2. So this has zip code 84651, but I left the city blank. So let's say the zip code goes over multiple cities. If they're not in Payson, they're in a different city, so they don't qualify. They shouldn't, or I'm getting that backwards. So then this is where it gets confusing because some people get very confusing. But to make it simple, they would qualify for this tax, this tax, this tax, and this tax if they're in Payson, Utah. But because these 2 are not compound, it would only take this one because it's a higher priority. Because I put in this zip code and I qualify for this one, it would not take tax 4 because it's not a compound tax rate. So that's kind of the difference between compound and non-compound. It does get confusing at times, but it adds a lot of flexibility. And then the last thing with tax rates is here, adding business address for pickups. So we had a client that needed to charge, basically their state said, if the customer's picking it up in your store, it doesn't matter where their billing address is from, you need to charge sales tax. So that was for that. Basically, if they're doing pickups, it will then use your business address, which is in your company settings here. So basically it would use this to determine if they should charge tax. And obviously you'd put your own tax rate in there for yourself, for your city and stuff. So that is, taxes I found is a very difficult because everybody's so different, and some states are so difficult on how they have taxes. There can be so many different taxes. So if you're having problems figuring out taxes, let me know by all means. We don't want that to be a bottleneck in getting your website up. And then the last thing, once they have that, taxes, delivery, need to make the payment, make the credit card. Who do we use for credit cards? We have 3 different options for you. So when you're in here, we have integrations in the settings. We integrate with third party. The third party payment integrations are Stripe, Square, and PayPal. So you can see right now, Stripe is set up. So this is using Stripe. I have my test data in here, so you can type in the test cards. And I can make a payment. The charge went through. Perfect. So you can see you can use Stripe, Square, or PayPal. Now PayPal is a little bit different because PayPal can be by itself as your only payment processor, but it can also go alongside these other 2 as well. So you can say enter your credit card information or check out with PayPal. So if you have Stripe and PayPal turned on, or Square and PayPal, it'll show both of them. But you can only have either Stripe or Square because they both use the same enter your credit card on the website section. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, you choose Stripe or Square. And if you want to add PayPal in there, you can. You can do PayPal by itself. I definitely would not recommend that. It's been proven that people who have only PayPal have a lower conversion rate because a lot of people think, I don't have a PayPal account. They don't know they can put their credit card in PayPal, and they don't check out. So it has been known to get people that are going to pay to otherwise not because they think they have to use PayPal. They don't have a PayPal account. PayPal is a good option because some people, for security, some people are very secure online and they will only order through PayPal unless they know the company is a legitimate company. So PayPal is a good option because people can feel secure that they're not giving you their credit card number and they trust PayPal. So personally, I hate PayPal, but I like the option because people can have that option if they're worried about adding their credit card information to my website because they might not know who I am. So gives them that peace of mind. So that's up to you. Basically, when you're connecting each one of these, each one will have a setup instructions on how to go and connect these to your checkout. Once these are turned on, that is what it will use. So you'll notice when you're checking out, it'll use that credit card processor. We contact the company, we verify it, they make sure the funds are in there, they approve it, and then we charge it, and then we return the success with the transaction information so you can see that information in there. So, and then obviously they took the payments, and then you can set it up through them how to transfer it to your bank account or whatnot. So we're just the middle guy that takes the credit card information and passes it to them to charge the cards. So if you have any questions on that, by all means, let me know with that. So now that we have all the products set up, we have the settings set up, customers have gone through, placed an order. You'll notice that in here, we have a new order that came in. So my time zone is set to a time zone, the standard, the world central time zone. So it's past midnight there, changeable. So that's why it says the 6th. is the day that it ordered. But you can see here the customer, delivery type, the total, and when you go into it, you can see exactly what they ordered. So here's the customer information, delivery information. If it's not a delivery, that will be blank. The order details, signature, and then you can see exactly what they chose. So they chose Mickey Mouse balloon bouquet, pick a color, pick a size, large candy bag, how much they paid, total payment, and everything. Credit card that they used paid via Stripe. Once you're in here, you also have statuses. So unpaid basically means they tried to check out, but the payment failed with the credit card. So they came in, they clicked pay now, the payment was declined. We added it in here because I preferably like to know so I could follow up with them and say, hey, I see you tried to process. And most times it was just them not being able to enter it right or giving up or something like that. Or saying, oh yeah, I was going to get my new card and then come back and do it. And I would just take the credit card over the phone and make it easier for them. So I like to see that information. So if I had unpaid, I just knew that they hadn't paid for it yet, not to deliver it. And then new is basically a new order came in and they paid for it. Processing for me was if I was in the process of building it for them. I saw it come in. I pulled the work order, pulled all the balloons, put it in the box, put it on the shelf, set it to processing. So I knew that one's been prepared and ready for delivery. And then completed was after it was done. I delivered it. We marked as completed at the end of the day. And then that status was set to completed. This comes in handy because when you come back here, you can easily see which orders are completed and which orders are not. So we were going to push it out last night. Hopefully tonight it goes out, but we're also adding a column here for pickup delivery date. So you can sort it by the day they were picked up and or delivered. So you can click here to sort any of these categories. So the only one that's not sortable is the customer name. It's because text doesn't sort as smoothly. But yeah, so all these are sortable and you can be able to sort those however you would like. If you have a lot of orders, you can show 10, 25, 50, or 100 at a time. You can also search in here and it'll show anything that has brand. Well, they all have Brandon in it because it's me. So yeah, you can search in here and it'll live filter out anything that are in there. So that's how you can kind of go in, see your orders, manage them, track which ones are still need to be done, which ones are completed, and basically do a full inventory of what orders you have coming in. When a customer places an order, you'll also get an email. So one thing to make sure everybody realizes is here under the website settings, you have your, oops, I apologize. Let's see. I lied. We recently switched it last week. So that's where it used to be. So we used to send all your notifications to this one here. But then we had the problem where we needed people to be able to send it to multiple email addresses or one that was different than what they publicly put on their website. So now what we have is we have under the website settings, we have your notifications tab, and you can add an email address in here to receive notifications. Once you can add as many as you'd like, basically we will send an email to all these email addresses to be able to notify you there was an order that was received. So if you have a inbox that is for your office or a support, it'd be good to send it to that. And maybe you want to back up to yourself as well so you know something's coming in. So you can manage your notifications and who gets notified when those orders come in. You can also see them on your dashboard, as well as a history of everything that you have here. Okay. So I know that was a lot. And hopefully that makes things a little bit easier. So what I would recommend with your website is to sit down and plan out how you want to organize your products. The biggest things I see when setting up is people not knowing how to organize the products into what categories and what sections. The second thing is images. Images are going to make a world of difference in the quality of your website. I can take a website, have the exact same website, just put in some quality images, and it'll make a world of difference. If you have someone who's a graphic designer, graphic artist, or someone who can do some Photoshop work for you for an affordable price, you can afford it, definitely would recommend going as professional as you can. Like I said, I paid somebody $200 or $300 and they went for the day. I blew up the balloons, organized them. They took a picture, and I had probably 15 or 20 bouquets that I put on my website. It was a couple $100, but it made a big difference, and in the long run can pay off. It could be the difference. I mean, $300 sounds like a lot, but you realize that's only 2 or 3 orders, and if that can get you a couple orders a month extra because it looks a little more professional, and they like the bouquets a little better, I mean, it might pay off for itself or make a difference between being very successful and moderately successful. So I would definitely recommend investing in good quality images, sizing, making sure your images are all the same size. We make sure they fit well, so they can be whatever size they really want. You don't want them too big because they'll load slower, but we do make sure they fit. Just make sure they're all the same dimensions so that they're all within the same area. You don't get content shifting up and down and moving as the images rotate through. And then yeah, the last thing is we're adding in those additional options for you to make optional the variables. So the drop-down options, pricing, whatever you have set up, those will be optional. And then there can also be a text box area, and then we'll be adding different options hopefully shortly in the future here as well. So yeah, that's a mouthful. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me talk. So I will go to your questions and answer any questions that you have here. So let's see here. So can we use an image resized in Illustrator or Picture Manager? So if you have Picture Manager or Illustrator, Photoshop, all these tools have the ability to crop them. Picture Manager, I think you're talking about the Windows Picture Manager, which has the ability to crop, and you could make them all match the same size, but I wouldn't picture that tool being most effective. But you can definitely crop them out. Photoshop and Illustrator, you can definitely make them fit within the. I use Photoshop for a lot of stuff. It's similar to Canva, but I pay for it. But not a lot of people pay for Photoshop. Illustrator is a little bit different. I don't do a lot with Illustrator, but I don't think you can crop and resize things as easily. I'm not 100% sure with Illustrator. But yeah, if you have another tool, the big thing is you want to be able to have a template. So the easiest thing is to have a template pre-set up, and you just bring images in all day long. Like, it's just clockwork. You can hire a high school kid at $10 an hour to just drag images and size them to this template. So you grab this template, get people to drag things over, put your images all in the same size, download them, and it'll make that image the perfect size there. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know with that. The other thing I really like with having the difference between this and using something, I mean, a lot of people you can set things up on your own, but the biggest benefit you're going to get is you can have a lot of categories to organize your products. So if you have 50 balloon bouquets and you just have them all on a single page, it can get very confusing for the customer, and it might work, but what's going to be more effective and more efficient and make more money is to make it easier for the customer to find what they're looking for. So if they're looking for a balloon bouquet, I don't want to show them get well balloon bouquets and have them filter through all the different balloon bouquets. Make it as easy for the customer as possible. Having these categories or letting them create their own balloon bouquet, or just say, hey, give me a balloon bouquet. That doesn't get easier than that. The easier it is for the customer, the more money you're going to make. And it's an investment that you're spending on yourself. Investing into your website is going to invest in your business. So, and I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about your time, putting the time in there, paying somebody to professionally do photos. All these things in the long run will pay off and will make a big difference. So I would definitely recommend investing in your website and putting that time and effort and money into making it as professional as possible. Because in the long run, that will pay off a lot, and it'll pay off dramatically by making it as professional as possible. So let's see, we got any other questions here? I'm gonna hop over to Facebook, make sure there's no questions in there. Oh, I am live. I apologize. I didn't know I went live in Balloon Coach as Balloon Coach. So I apologize, Joette. I help her on her page and have admin access. So I apologize. That was supposed to be on, am I on a Balloon Suite? Did I choose the wrong one? Well, that's embarrassing. So I apologize, Joette, piggybacking off your page. It looks like there's quite a few, and she's been in there. So yeah, I apologize about that. But yeah, so it looks like it's on both. I'll hop over, make sure there's no questions on any of those. Joette says, work in your strengths and hide your weaknesses. I couldn't agree with that more. I get sometimes we have to sometimes work within our weaknesses, but our goal should be to hire those out as soon as possible. Not only will our jobs be more enjoyable, but it'll be done better. You can be more effective. And like I said, if you pay somebody to do photos that knows what they're doing, it can pay off in thousands of dollars a month by just having a better quality website. So sometimes cutting corners to save money actually ends up costing you money. So I definitely agree with that. But I started my business doing everything, even the stuff I wasn't good at, including taxes. Then I got audited and had to pay $5,000 to audit fees and accountants to refile the taxes that I did incorrectly on accident. So I am a living proof that you should stay away from your weaknesses because it ends up costing you in the long run. Joette again, focus on progress. Don't have to be perfect. You can always update things. I can't agree with you more, Joette. That is the biggest thing. Yes, having professional images is best. The more professional, the better. But the only thing worse than not professional images is nothing. I mean, 5% of something is better than 0%. So even if you don't have the best images, get them up there. Put something up there. You might not get all the customer orders. You might not be as efficient as possible, but it's better than nothing. And not only that, the few orders you do get, it's going to make it easier for you to, I mean, if you get 2 orders in a month because of that, that's going to be $100 that you can put towards hiring somebody to do it for you. And then next month you get more done. So I couldn't agree more. Get something out there and then you continue to make it better. I had a website our balloon business for 4 years. Ended up selling it. But during that time, I was a web developer 15 years before that. Not once did I have a perfect website. There was always something I was fixing, changing, times that I broke something trying to fix it and I didn't have time to fix it and the customer saw it and I knew it was there, but I was busy doing something else, so I didn't have time to fix it. So your website's never is always going to be a work in progress. Definitely don't wait till it's perfect because I know a lot of people who their website is 95% perfect and they can be making a lot of money, but they don't push it live because they want it that 100% and they're losing out on a lot of money. And your website will never be 100% perfect. Large companies are constantly testing and constantly changing to make it more perfect. So yep, let me hop over to Balloon Suite, make sure there's no questions over there. Appreciate your guys' patience in getting started today. Diana, fantastic information. Brandon, thank you. Thank you. So let's see here. So live in both. Okay, so Karen. So Karen says, I sell a lot more larger bouquets now due to this area. That was 36 minutes ago. Don't know which area she was talking about. But what I'd recommend is going through and doing all the areas that we talked about because one of those areas will make you some more money with larger bouquets, according to Karen. Okay, so Karen, not sure if this is for the webinar or not. We'll make it for this webinar. But when I have no base price, but have it in the options, orders placed, it says 0 on my end in the orders, but the total has the price in it. I noticed that in the portal. Yeah, we put out a thing and it does show that portal. I was going to look at it when I got off. Looks like a little bug that slipped through and I apologize, but that doesn't change the order was correct. And everything's going to be there. So I'll look into that and get that fixed. Yeah, I apologize about that. So Your live balloon suite, and then she removed it. But yeah, we'll fix that for you. Oh, the Let Us Create It For You. So yeah, the Let Us Create It For You one that I talked about, she sells a lot more larger balloon bouquets because of it. And then I also, like I said, if you're just barely joining, I loved the Let Us Create It For You because it kept my inventory low and increased my profits because I didn't have a lot of extra inventory sitting around. Working with Joette, I know she says over there they have a lot of extra balloons hanging around that they don't use extra inventory. So this is a very good way. I mean, if you have $1,000 of balloons, that's basically $1,000 of inventory you're just sitting there wasting that you could be making money off of. So, or inventory you won't have to order, you can keep towards something else. So Diana, does this send a message to the client that their order was received? Can we customize the email? Does your system have a workflow option? So Diana, we are mocking out a notification section. So you can see in that notifications area that we talked about, we put the address in there. We're also going to have the ability for you to, the plan for you to be able to choose which different emails, notification emails get sent to which ones. And then phase 3 is basically being able to customize those emails and the text that's in those emails. So currently, it's just a very simplified email to you. It does not send it to the customer because obviously I didn't want to go live with that without you being able to, I don't want to choose what I'm sending to your customer. So it's just to you. Hopefully very soon, shortly, we will have the ability to customize it so we can also send emails, notifications to the customer. And then we can do multiple notifications, like you can trigger when the status changes or when it's completed or things like that. If you refund, you can send a refund email. So we are mocking out that, and to have that built. Has not started development, so it'll probably be a couple months, but that is something we definitely want to do. And then workflow option, we are also working on getting the option for you to having a mind blank. I should use all the time, so I should know Zapier. So we're trying to create a Zapier plugin for you to be able to integrate with any plugin tool that you use. It uses Zapier, which is almost everything. Dubsado does not have a Zapier plugin for necessarily or much, but a lot of these different tools have Zapier plugins. So instead of having to create thousands of integrations, what we can do is we can just have a Zapier plugin and you can go in and integrate with it. So I'm hoping to have that out by the end of this year, hopefully a lot sooner, but that's also in the plans as well. But yes, that answers that question, Diana. But yeah, so our product, just like your website, is always a work in progress, and we're always making it better. So your feedback is welcome, and we love it because the features that we add is based upon the demand and what you guys request. So if there's something that's missing that would make a difference for you, let me know, and we'll add it to our workflow. And then the more useful it'll be to everybody else, the sooner it gets done, or the bigger it is. I guess it can take longer too, but that's when we choose new features to develop for you. So been on here for a little over an hour. Got started a little bit late, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for everybody who stuck with me. If you have any questions, reach out to me. support@balloonsuite.com. Reach me on Facebook, Brandon Turpin. And hopefully we can help you guys get your websites up, help you guys making more money on your websites, and help you during this time of Corona, that we can make it easier for your customers to order from you so you can get some income during this time, because I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but I do have a lot of customers who are making a lot of orders on non-contact deliveries and yard setups. So that is something that's working very well. And hopefully we can go into more details with that and help a little more, but getting a good website set up and getting good products is crucial. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. We'll get this recording emailed out to you so you can watch it back through as you're going through, because there's a lot of information we went through. So you'll be able to watch it through step by step, pause it, make changes, go back if you forgot something, and hopefully this will help you. Thank you. Have a good day.